One-time sitcom actor and Church of Scientology devotee Danny Masterson is now also a convicted rapist. 10 days ago, he was jailed for 30 years for his violent crimes. But what's been revealed since his sentencing is the support he received from fellow Hollywood stars, including Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. In letters to the judge asking for leniency for Masterson, the married couple described their friend more like a saint than a sinner. They said he was a role model and an exceptional character. Not surprisingly, their comments have caused outrage.
Did you steal my Cheetos again?
By their very nature, Hollywood stars Ashton Kutcher and wife Mila Kunis love attention. But their enthusiastic support for convicted rapist Danny Masterson, their co-star and friend, has caused such a furor, even they wish they could turn off the spotlight.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
I knew people were going to be really interested to see that two of the letters were written by Danny's co-stars from that 70s show, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. And boy, did it cause a firestorm on social media.
Journalist Tony Ortega first published the power couple's character references a week and a half ago. The rest, as they say, is history, forcing this public relations-driven apology.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. We're sorry if that has taken place.
Why do you think there was such a reaction?
I guess people were shocked to find out that Ashton and Mila, who kind of have branded themselves as activists for victims, would write letters on behalf of a person who had been convicted already. These letters were written post-conviction. Their friend had been convicted of 2 violent rapes, and they had still written a letter to the judge asking for leniency.
Breaking news now, an actor in Hollywood convicted of rape.
It was always going to be a headline trial, an atrocious crime committed by a sitcom celebrity who was a favoured son of the controversial Church of Scientology. Throw into the mix famous friends who had a habit of helping out, whether it was performing at Scientology events or, in this case, doing their bit to reduce whatever jail sentence Masterson faced for raping 2 women in 2003. What do you make of their apology?
I guess it got to such a fever pitch they felt they had to say something. I don't know what they were thinking, but I guess they're just shocked that this became a news story and they felt they had to get out in front of it.
The 47-year-old was found guilty in May. When it came to his sentencing 10 days ago, in a desperate bid for leniency, Masterson's family called on Hollywood to paint him as a decent and kind man. Ashton and Mila obliged, just 2 of 50 letter writers. In their unreserved praise, Ashton says of his 25-year friendship with Masterson, "I don't ever recall him lying to me. He also set an extraordinary standard around how you treat other people."
Do you really think we're a creepy, unnatural couple?
Come on. It's a crazy question.
Mila, who also worked with Masterson on that 70s show, said, "I could sense his innate goodness and genuine nature. One of the most remarkable aspects of Danny's character is his unwavering commitment to discouraging the use of drugs." These character references, the apology video, has almost overshadowed the news of the sentencing itself. Why do you think people are so outraged?
Well, you know, I think it's the tone of the letters and the sort of irony in some of the letters. For example, many of the letter writers refer to Danny's work against drugs. And I kept thinking, do you realize you're writing a letter for a guy who's been convicted of drugging and raping women? I mean, I think that's what outraged people so much, is that we know what he's been convicted of, and yet these people are saying he's like the best person they've ever met.
The judge didn't buy it and sentenced Masterson to 30 years in jail. While gathering character references is routine at sentencing hearings, it is now the pair's judge of character that is in question. It speaks to a bubble, doesn't it? Not only do we have a Scientology bubble at play here, but a Hollywood bubble as well, that there's no real understanding how the outside world will react to this.
Well, then that's the next question that comes up, is how much did Ashton and Mila really know? Because they were very close to him. Danny, at that time, was openly calling himself DJ Donkey Punch. This is a sexual slang term of assault, and he wore it like a badge. And so I just have to wonder, what did his friends think about that at that time? That's what I'd like to hear from Ashton, is, did you really not know what was going on? And that's kind of the opposite of what we're hearing from him in this character letter.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Do we know how Danny Masterson's victims are feeling about these character references?
Oh, they're outraged. I mean, they had gone into court on Thursday and gave these heart-rending victim impact statements. They're just absolutely incredible statements that these women made. And I also really like the way Jane Doe 1 repeatedly brought it back to Scientology and explained how Scientology made everything worse, re-victimized them time and time again, and has continued to harass them to this very day. So I don't want people to forget what a big part of this trial Scientology was.
Not only did it harass the victims, but it protected Danny Masterson right from the beginning.
For years and years, Danny Masterson was a Scientology celebrity who preyed on Scientology women because he knew Scientology would protect him.
Can't close my mouth. Can you close your mouth?
The church knew of the allegations against Masterson in 2003, but did nothing. And as part of church law, the women were banned from going to police. It took all their strength to go anyway.
It's in their ethics book, it's in their written policies, and you had Scientologist after Scientologist on the witness stand saying, yep, that's what I was taught. And every day, the spokesman for that church would tell reporters, it's not true, we don't have that policy, it's all a lie. And of course, the media is obliged to report that as Scientology's response, instead of Scientology's blatant lie, which is what it was, day after day after day. And I don't know, I just hope that it's getting through to people that this is a criminal organization pretending to be a religion.
Danny Masterson denies he raped anyone and is set to appeal his conviction.
Sometimes they get it wrong, and that's what happened here.
But there is no doubt for Tony Ortega, who has long reported on the worst of Scientology, this is an opportunity to expose the ills of this so-called church, a chance for authorities to finally do something. Could this trial in some way spell the end of Scientology?
Well, it's hard to say, but I mean, I don't know that anything has ever been served to them on a platter like this, where you've got victims, you've got harm, you've got ongoing cover-ups, you've got the subjugation of law enforcement. It's all there. You've got witnesses, you've got a conviction. What is the government waiting for?
Hello, I'm Tara Brown. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.